years, I learned to express myself in other ways. I started making little notes to myself.
Note to self. Remember, Aunt Jenny is your aunt.
Note to self. Learn to fight.
Look, an alien.
Yeah, we better have sex with each other.
Note to self. Sam just looked at the screen. Look, Pops, I gotta tell you something.
What?
I've made up my mind. I'm going to tell Sam. Or not! Ah!
Note to self, forget about fathering children.
Ever had a chick with a beard before?
I can't say that I have there, bearded broad.
Well then, sugar, you haven't lived.
Note to self. I don't want to live.
I'm on my way to my grandmother's place. Do you want to walk me?
Note to self. Mitch was right.
No, he wasn't.
It's too late. It's already on tape. Note to self. Remember, no matter how bad life gets, there is always beer. Do you remember when you said this? Note to self. Making love to blow-up doll, not as good as advertised.
No.
Oh, sorry. I must have gone too far there.
Note to self. Stop payment on $50,000 check.
Note to self. Remember to get ass wart cream for giant wart on my ass. It's a little bit past that. Less than 2 years after that horrific bus accident which nearly left her crippled, singer Gloria Estefan has been involved in a fatal boating accident in which a surfer was killed. Memo to self, cancel hang gliding with Gloria Estefan. Let me just cancel that out there. So I'll cancel. Recently, what will set his new Batman film apart from its predecessors, Batman and Robin director Joel Schumacher said, quote, "In this one, all the costumes will have nipples." Note to self, do not watch the next Batman and Robin. And in Fairbanks, Alaska, a new high-tech emergency phone system will give operators the name and address of anyone who calls 911. Note to self, don't make any more prank 911 calls in Fairbanks, Alaska. I know I have a pocket here somewhere. A report by Assistant Treasury Secretary Jim Johnson shows that the arrest rate for church arsons is more than twice the national average for arsons in general. Note to self, start setting fire to something other than churches. In New Mexico this week, lawmakers passed a measure to abolish the state's 15-year statute of limitations on first-degree murder. Note to self, cancel plans to return to New Mexico. Capitol Hill this week, the House unanimously passed a measure which would prevent prison inmates from being counted as household members for purposes of food stamp eligibility. Note to self, find new way of fraudulently obtaining food stamps. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission has warned that an industrial camera stolen from a Montana company could pose a radiation hazard if its casing is opened. Oh. Note to self, After show, remember to close the casing on that industrial camera that I borrowed from a thing while I was in Montana. In Indiana, the state legislature has approved a law requiring professional hypnotists to be trained at accredited institutions and certified by the State Medical Licensing Board. Note to self, cancel plans to tour Indiana as hypnotists this summer. Oh, wait. Ignore previous note. Instead, note to self, get fake hypnotism diploma and proceed as planned. In Alabama, a new state law will dramatically increase the penalty for bouncing a check. Note to self, cancel summer vacation plans in Alabama. Find state more accommodating to the Norm Macdonald lifestyle. In North Carolina, the Bowman Gray School of Medicine is looking for 20 habitual marijuana smokers who they'll provide with free pot in order to study the effects of the drug. Note to self, spend summer vacation at Bowman Gray School of Medicine. Maybe take Timmy Meadows along with you. According to prosecutors in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Henrietta Collins, a 90-year-old widow, was bilked out of her life savings by the trustees of her estate. Note to self, forget trying to bilk Henrietta Collins out of her life savings. Some dirty bastard got there first. And next summer in Battle Creek, Michigan, Kellogg's will open Cereal City, a new $18 million theme park. Note to self, start buying up land next to Cereal Theme Park, then open Milk Theme Park. And watch the money roll in. Good news for Hawaii. Next year, the state will receive $20 million in federal funds to help teach poor children how to read. Oh. Note to self, swindle poor Hawaiians out of $20 million by pretending to be a guy who teaches reading. Note to self, before I start, also learn to read. That will help give the scam what we like to call credibility. That's a big word. Last weekend in Washington, a new museum dedicated to broadcast Bah! The fuck was that? Last weekend in Washington, a new museum my farewell performance. Last weekend. All right, folks. Maybe we'll see you next week. Good night. With the resignation of 2 police officers in Vergennes, Vermont, the city's 2,500 residents are now left with only 1 policeman. Note to self, if I get fired for cursing on the air last week, drive up to Vergennes, Vermont, hypnotize the remaining policeman, and loot town.
God, why did you put that dirty, sickening image in my mind? Oh, no, here it goes again.
God, she's just a lesbian.
Stop it! Please stop!
Note to self, never ever follow a vomit-spewing guy with a joke. good.